After everything that was said and done, I found the show so far to be painfully aight. I mean, it's not the worst thing to come out in January, but also not the best I've seen either. It's comfortably mid, you know? And that's not an insult. There's aspects that I enjoyed and others that needed some rework. It wasn't entirely boring, which is the bare minimum one could ask from any piece of media, but the amount of info dumping that happens in every other scene, on top of it being repetitive, can be a lot to take in for the first viewing. It gets irritating and it feels like at times they're talking down to their own audience, at least for me. Like, this is supposed to be a quote-unquote mature adult show, so why don't we just talk straight line like adults? Plus, the thumbnail came out amazing, so it had to get done. On top of all that, I had to pace out watching the episodes to fully comprehend what I saw, to summarize it and analyze what the heck I was even watching, and if I happened to enjoy it or not. At least a third of the show's dialogue is repeating information and explaining the same stuff in no new way to new characters that we keep getting introduced to. The hotel and its purpose, the core cast meeting new characters, and yet some stuff was kept purposely vague, like Lucifer's dreams, how Serpentius and Cherry are rivals, and how Angel Dust got into his deal with Valentino in the first place. Stuff that I would have loved for season things to go over or at least allude to more. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. So it was maddening to hear the same shit over and over again with baby steps to progress it. Now, the first half of the season, I very much enjoyed and much prefer because it was mainly them doing the hotel exercises and trying to redeem Angel and Sir P. The second half was kind of a slog to get through with how dense shit was getting with much higher stakes in such a limited time. But it's at this point I question, where do they go from here? Because from what I've been hearing, Season 2's antagonists will be the V's, which, in my opinion, should have been used for Season 1. Because stakes-wise, it feels kind of like a downgrade to have gone from the first man and leader of the Exorcist Angel Army, Adam, to overlords that 2/3 of them have prior personal investments in residents of the hotel. Perhaps starting with the emotional stakes that set the foundation of what gives the general offline audience a reason to deeply care and root for these a-holes in hell should have been there from the start instead of blowing their proverbial load from the get-go.